Alright guys, well, we're gonna start off this new video series with the AOD. This will be the complete AOD swap. So we're here at LKQ in Anaheim, California, looking for an AOD to take out. So let's get to it and we'll talk a lot more about the Ford AOD. Here's a little cool Ford Falcon wagon Econoline. This thing's really cool. But a little bit about the AOD. AOD was first introduced in 1980 and it went all the way to 1993. And it came in a lot of Fords, Mercurys, Lincolns. I'll put up a list here so you guys can check it out and see which cars it came in. Most notably in the mid-80s Fox body Mustangs. And some of the Thunderbirds as well. And the Lincoln Mark 8s. So we're gonna take a look, see what we can find here. And hopefully we'll find some at this yard. Let's keep going. Alright, so here's our first look. Here's our first donor, our first candidate. And just a quick tip, if you have an LKQ near you, it's very good to look online and see what they have, their inventory, and that will speed up your process. But check this out. This is a 1990 supercharged Thunderbird. Look at that right there, 3.8. And
it's literally a 5-liter with 2 cylinders cut off of it.
yeah.
Dude, this is like the Marauder from the 1990s.
Yeah.
This thing hauls butt.
But yeah, tiny little supercharger.
It's not even like that.
Call it a super coupe.
90 cubic inches.
Oh yeah?
Eaton M90, that's what it is.
Okay, let's look under this one. 1990. So this one we think has the AOD in it. Interior gauge clusters right here. This one, 169,000 miles, if it belongs to this one. A good clue to check is the shifter right here. You could see the O and the D for overdrive. So we're thinking this might be an AOD, the one that we are looking for. So I'm gonna get just a mat to crawl under there and we'll check it out. All right, let's check the first candidate. And here we go. There we go. So automatic overdrive metric. So that's a really good sign. This is the oil pan that the AOD uses. Don't get it confused with the AODE 4R70W because that transmission, you will need a controller, a computer to make it work. So what we're after is this version, the 1980 to 93 version. And here it is, automatic overdrive. So this right here is a very good sign. This is the correct pan for the AOD. So another quick tip to verifying the AOD, as what Bob mentioned, is the electrical connector on the passenger side. It's going to be right here. And as you can see, putting my hand across here, there is no electrical connection. We'll put up a picture on here so you could see as well. There will be a connection on the driver's side. That connection is for the reverse lights, the neutral safety switch. But we'll put up a picture so you guys can check out the difference. So if you see this pan, you see that the connector is not on the passenger side, then there you go. You found yourself an AOD. So there you go. This is the first candidate. It turns out to be a very good one. We're gonna take a little bit of look around to see, because it has a high mileage on the odometer, and This being a supercharged Thunderbird. Yeah, I think this thing was probably beating pretty hard on it. You check the tires on there, they're kind of worn out. You check the back tires on this thing. Still got some tread on here, but yeah, maybe if you find a super coupe with the supercharger, I would say maybe pass on it, just because you know this thing's gonna be driven pretty hard. So let's take another look, see what else we could find. Dang, dude, you're crazy, man. Oh, there we go. We got the plywood. All right, so here is another candidate. I think this is the one that's gonna be the one. This is a 1993 Thunderbird, and we scoped this out online first, and it's looking pretty good. It's the last year of the AOD, and we're kind of scoping this thing out, but check this thing out. If this is correct, that says 39,059 miles, and man, if that's correct, that is pretty crazy. So we took a little closer look at the car, the condition of it. You see the dash, it's really good condition. The steering wheels, you see a lot of wear as well, so it's not too bad. The dash looks really good here, so you could tell a lot of this stuff looks really good. And we take a look right here again. You could see the O and the D for overdrive. So I think this is going to be the overdrive AOD as well. Let's take a look under. And let's see. And it looks like this is the AOD as well. And this thing looks a lot cleaner underneath as well. They have to drain these things when they get them in the yard. But I think this is gonna be the one. This is the one that we're gonna take, because it's supposedly low mileage. So let's get to work and let's take this thing out. We'll talk a little bit more about the AOD. And here's a look at the engine. This is a 3.8. It's not supercharged like the Super Coupe, but we're hoping this thing was driven by a grandma to church. So there you go. Let's get to work. We're gonna take this thing out and go a little bit more into depth. But there you go, 1993, the last year. And you want to make sure you get a 1988 and up AOD, because they improved it with better main shaft lubrication. So this would be the one to get, 1993 AOD. Here we go. It's gonna be my best friend right here, Sawzall, baby. We're just gonna get into this thing and go to town, get this AOD. Let's do it. There we go, Sawzall's out. Oh, first cut. That's it, man. Bam, let's do it. Give me that Sawzall. I'm gonna start with this thing. I'm gonna cut the whole car in half right now.
Hey, easy now. Easy now.
Oh yeah. Original Motorcraft.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take the starter as well. This is the mini starter, and that's gonna help out with the Torino. Very nice. It's gonna work out very nice. So you're taking the AOD, take the starter while you're at it. That's a good upgrade. So I was over here taking the intake off, taking the hood off so I can reach around the back transmission bolts. But man, Bob is the reach around master, because
Hey man, easy with that.
because he's got them off through here. Crazy, man.
I had to reach around from the other side of the bell housing.
And then this is what he found on the transmission, remanufactured. So it seems to be like they repaired it, hoping they didn't mess it up. But I mean, transmission shop should be capable of doing an AOD.
That's a factory rebuilt, dude.
Oh, factory rebuilt?
That's a factory rebuilt.
Yeah, we're gonna have to search this, but yeah, that's
an OG sticker right there.
This is really good, man. The last bolt? Oh my God. So you don't even have to go in the engine bay. You don't have to do anything here. You can just go under the car and reach around.
Reach the bell housing from the passenger side.
From the passenger side, reach around the bell housing.
To break them free, and then you put the wobble sockets on them. So you run your ratchet in a short form like this with the 13. And you run this guy all the way around until you're on the top of the transmission, and you just break it free just a little bit so where you can get it off by hand, and you fish it out with
the master. Dang, that is crazy, man. I'm over here spending time over here. But there you go, some tips and tricks to getting the AOD out of the car.
Yeah.
Bam.
Drive, overdrive, neutral, reverse, park. Park will always be the one.
All the way. The first one.
But it'll also have the longest travel in between the two positions. So like, look at so that's reverse. And it's a big travel, whereas all these guys are small clicks. And then a big jump forward.
And that's the floor shifter bracket.
Yeah.
So some of them, they come with the column shifter, so you have to be mindful of that. Try to find a console shift bracket right there. I think the other one will be pointing down, I believe.
Yeah, I think it'd be coming from this way.
Yeah. There you go.
On the later cars, they all come from this way. The Marauders like that.
Cool.
So, check out my pull.
Oh,
Check out my pull-out game.
let's see.
You gotta pick up on that shaft a little bit.
Oh. Oh.
Nice. Yeah.
Can that be used?
This can be used. Yes, you're gonna use this. This is gonna go onto your drive shaft.
So we better take this.
Yes, we need this. And all we're gonna do is just pop these guys here.
Yeah.
And here. And then a hammer and a socket. Appropriate socket that fits. We'll just pop them out. And it's super easy. So
The other one's way longer, huh? The C4 one, I think. It's a bit longer than that. We're gonna have to see.
I don't remember. This is a 28 spline. I don't know if that's the same spline count on the C4 or not.
Yeah.
So this is like this should work with like a T45 manual transmission. So
yeah,
useless information.
We'll research that and put it in the video so people know what spline count.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get rid of this guy.
Oh, okay, she's free. She is free. So we just gotta pull it back and be careful, because she's gonna come crashing down a bit.
No, it's not crashing down. It's gonna be a slow, controlled landing. Not a crash landing.
Should probably put a tire right there, huh? How heavy is this thing?
I think it's 120 pounds.
120 pounds? We'll research that, put it in the video.
I've picked these things up Rambo style before.
Dang.
Well, slid this guy up out of there.
That's it. Man, That was crazy, dude.
I told you I was gonna grab it and just slide it out. Land it on my belly.
Oh my god, dude.
Slide it off my belly down onto the ground. Yeah, it's ready to go. Now
Crazy,
all we have
man.
to do is just slide it out that way onto the plywood that I got.
The plywood
Staged right there. And then it's ready to go.
Dude, this thing's pretty clean, man.
Gotta grab the flex plate and this isolator pan.
Flex plate for sure. And the
We got 20 minutes, dude. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
I said 2 hours.
2 hours. So there we go. There it is.
Oh.
AOD, baby. And
Fishing out the flex plate.
we're getting the flex plate. So this is a 26-ounce flex plate, right?
No, 28.
Oh, 28.
28.
It's a 28-ounce flex plate. And this is, what tip is this? Tip number 5. Well,
Something like that.
one of the biggest tips is the weight on the flex plate. And this one is a 28-ounce. We tried to do as much research as we could, but I think we'll just have to take this thing off and confirm. But if you have the early 289s, 302 engines prior to 1982, then it will most likely be a 28-ounce flex plate. When you start to go to the 82 and up with the 50s, HO engines, those ones will have a 50-ounce flex plate. So I would say always confirm, always make sure what kind of parts you have, because someone along the way can always switch stuff out and balance it a different way. So you will need a 164 tooth with either the 28 or 50 ounce depending on your application. And if you've got a 351 Windsor or a Cleveland, it will always be a 28 ounce. So there you go. We've got the AOD. Really nice. Don't forget to take the starter because this is a very good upgrade. Take the starter indexing plate, take the dipstick, take the flex plate, and the torque converter, because these are all good buys. And yeah, pretty good prices, bro. We're gonna see how much all this stuff is gonna cost, but there you go. Bam. All right, finally home, and we ended up buying all the parts that we took out. We've got the starter, we've got the yoke, see if this will work out. But this is a really cool find, is what Bob found on the transmission, which is right there. It is a remanufactured Ford tag. So if you type in those numbers right there, the rebuild order from Ford will come out, and that is just really cool, because if this turns out to be a rebuilt transmission, that means that this thing is basically brand new, and man, that would be insane. But let's talk a little bit about the cost of everything, and then we'll talk about what this trans is for. Alright, so we've got the sales receipt here with all the parts cost. For the transmission and converter, it ended up being $275 with a $25 core charge. With all the taxes and everything, it was about $351 for the trans and the converter. For the starter, they sell them at $34.36 with a $10 core charge. With taxes, it ended up being $50. But we've got the dipstick tube, we've got the flex plate as well, and we've got a bunch of other stuff like the yoke, as I had mentioned, and the rear mount as well. But the total parts cost for everything was about $421, which is a pretty good price considering that I found that remanufactured tag as well. So hopefully that turns out to be true. But it's always good to go, because these small parts here, you know, like these harnesses and everything, you know, this rear mount, you can get all of this from the yard, and you're not having to spend the money, because it starts to add up, and spend the time to find all this stuff. It's already all there at the yard, so that's why it's always good to hit the yards. But the plans for this trans is to put it into this 1968 Ford Torino. It has a C4, but it's been slipping really bad and it doesn't want to shift into third anymore. So this is the perfect time to do the AOD swap. So we'll show you guys all the tips and tricks, everything that I come across to help you guys to do the AOD swap. But you know, it should help with better highway RPMs, and then later on we can get lower gears on this thing and make it a bit more fun to drive. But all of these tips should be in the general sense the same to other Fords, as long as you make sure that all your parts are compatible as well. But I want to give a big thanks to Bob, because he helped me out a lot at the yard and getting this trans. It took about 2 hours to do it, which is really good. I'll put a link up for his channel in the description below. He's got a lot of cool Mercury stuff that he's working on. But that is going to be it. I hope you guys like the series, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bam!